Hello, this is Tendai from Med Tutors. In this video, I'll be talking about the approach that you want to take to study for pathology. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe to the Med Tutors YouTube channel and follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook platforms. When it comes to the approach to studying for basic science subjects, I always talk about three key things. I always talk about preparation, paying attention in class, and practice. We're still going to talk about these three key things when discussing pathology. So first of all, let's talk about how you can prepare for the class. It's important to adequately prepare before going to class. This can be done by either having a pre-read of your textbook and also just having a preview of the lecture slides before you go to class. So this is how I would advise you to approach this. You want to take a look at the lecture and find out which chapter it's covering in the Robbins Basic Pathology textbook. Once you identify, for example, that it's chapter 2, you're going to go to the chapter 2 of the textbook and you're going to do a pre-read. When you're doing this pre-read, you want to have a general idea of what you're going to be covering. You're not going to obviously memorize and know everything, but you're going to have a good idea in terms of knowledge of how much you kind of need to know before going to class. Once you've done this, you can take a look at the lecture and then you can just pretty much do a quick skim through the lecture just to also have an idea before going to class. So two things you want to do for preparation. First of all, you want to read the chapter that you're going to learn about in the Robbins Basic Pathology textbook. Second thing is a quick skim through of the lecture. This will allow you to set a good foundation of knowledge before you learn about the material in the lecture. Now that you're in the lecture, via online or even in person, it's important to pay attention during the lecture. You want to also, key important thing is take note of any topic areas that you feel like you don't understand so well as the lecture is continuing and going on. You just want to take note of this and write it down. This allows you to instantly be able to separate the knowledge that you know very well as compared to the knowledge you don't know very well, giving you a good idea of where you want to start when you are going to approach your studies. So we've talked about preparation, we've talked about paying attention in class, and now we're going to talk about practice. It's important to have adequate practice before going into exam, especially in an important discipline like pathology, and it's going to be important to use the following resources. So first of all, you're going to want to use the Robbins Basic Pathology Review question book. This is going to be the question book coming from the Robbins Pathology textbook. Therefore, it's going to be a really good way to ensure that you understand the key important material that you've just learned in class. Once you've completed those questions, after going to that class, I'll suggest you do the UWorld path questions, and I'm going to have those in the link in the descriptions below. You want to use those as a second round of questions. This is also going to be very important as these questions are also clinically relevant questions. The third round of questions you want to do is going to be the UWorld pathology section. You want to use the question bank when you feel like you're at the peak of your knowledge, because these questions are going to be the most challenging questions. So you want to do these questions when you feel like you've had a good grasping of the material that has been learned in class. While you are doing this, before you're going to the next question bank, you want to ensure that you review the topics which you didn't understand so well when you are doing the questions, because you don't want to continue to make the same mistakes as you have before. Now I'm going to talk about an important resource you want to use in conjunction when you are in pathology. And this is important for pathology 1 or Pathology 2 courses, right, in your basic sciences, even leading up to your USMLE Step 1 exam. This is going to be PATHOMA. The PATHOMA videos and PATHOMA textbook is an important resource that you can use in conjunction as you learn. It's important to know that this is going to have high yield information, right? And it's going to be useful as a review. I wouldn't want you to use this as your foundation, right? I want you to make sure that you're using the Robbins Basic Pathology textbook, right? That's going to give you a large amount of vast knowledge, right? And then by the time you read or take a look at the PATHOMA videos, you're going to have condensed, focused knowledge, right? That's going to be telling you about the specific high yield information you need to know. So I wouldn't want you to miss out on building up a good fund of knowledge. Therefore, my advice when it comes to using this valuable resource is you want to use this as a review. So if you finish a chapter in the textbook and you want to review the material, it's important to use this resource. I would say that once you've read the main textbook, Robbins Basic Pathology, and you've also reviewed the slides for that day as preparation, and then you've gone to class, you've done some practice questions, right? And you want to add on some more review, definitely I would say use the PATHOMA textbook or videos as you continue to review more material. However, I'll reiterate, I would not want you to use this as a replacement for your foundational knowledge that you will gain from the Robbins Pathology textbook. Another resource that students like to use will be Sketchy Pathology from Sketchy Medical, as once again, this will be a good resource to use for review and if you like to use this as a memorization tool. However, I would say I wouldn't want you to use this in conjunction with PATHOMA because you'll be spending a lot of time on different review resources. So you kind of want to choose the one that works best for you. Once again, Robbins Basic Pathology textbook is going to be a mainstay foundational resource you want to use for both Pathology 1 and for Pathology 2. For more information regarding how to make effective study schedules for yourself and to plan out for an upcoming exam, USMLE Step 1 exam or a course coming up, don't hesitate to contact us on the MedTutors email in the link in the descriptions.